In the morning. There's so much pain in the world, actually, and I'm hoping it's not in the room that you're in, and it's definitely not in the room that you're in right now. But welcome to KUTV Rise Today. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatever is your favorite beverage of the morning. It's cold, but it's beautiful in Nairobi and its environs. But if you're elsewhere and you have different updates in terms of weather information, please let us know on our social handles at KUTV Kenya. Welcome to KUTV Rise Today. We're broadcasting live from our studios here, and this show that you're watching right now is Biashara Tuesday. We discuss business and the economy and all opportunities that are around you, so you are set for a show that is unlike any other all the way to 10 in the morning. As I said, there is so much pain in the world. If we take a look at the international front over in Israel, the war between Israel and Palestine, or is it Israel and Hamas in Gaza, continues, and the death toll now is over 10,000 civilian casualties, according to Palestinian Hamas-led Ministry of Health. The figures are coming from them. As of the moment, over 10,000 of those civilian casualties in this war, and over 3,000 of them being children who are affected in this move by Israel Defense Forces to eradicate the terrorists or to eradicate Hamas. And now Prime Minister Netanyahu says that he is open to having just a short break in this war, but not a ceasefire, even as leaders from all over the world call for a complete ceasefire in this situation. The United States is now pledging $300 million worth of bombs, which are going to be going towards the Israel Defense Forces in this war that intensifies and began a bit way back, few weeks back, which was all in September. Now, closer home in Sudan, war also continues over there, and casualties are now numbering over 4,000 Kenyan shillings, closer to 4,000 people, closer to our borders as well. In Congo, we are experiencing the same kind of pain. That's what I'm saying. If there's so much pain in the world, I'm hoping wherever you are able to appreciate the small haven of peace that you have and are continuing to enjoy, that enables you to be watching this show that is Biashara Tuesday. We'll be taking a look at what the effects of all these wars are in terms of economic impact, and of course closer home here in Kenya and East Africa as a whole. Global oil prices have gone down in the past few weeks. However, in Kenya, the CS for the Ministry of Energy says that the war between Israel and Palestine is going to affect prices of oil in Kenya, or prices of crude oil and in how they arrive in Kenya. The pain at the pump continues to rise and is expected to continue to rise in the next few weeks, as CS Churchill now says that a litre of petrol will be likely to retail at 300 Kenyan shillings from the current 217 Kenyan shillings that is there in Nairobi. Over in Uganda, they are banning importation of petrol through Kenya, saying that middlemen have been hiking the prices for over 59%. We are going to be affected by this, given that imports to Uganda of petrol are over 300 million Kenyan shillings. In Tanzania, the prices are lower. However, in Kenya, the prices are expected to be going up. And who is fooling who? The Palestine war is being blamed, or the Israel-Palestine war is being blamed on the expected increase in fuel prices in the country. So who's fooling who? And other short stories we'll be having here on the newspaper review section a bit later. However, for your own celebrations today, on a positive note, as we did last week, we're going to be wishing our former secondary schools all the best in the KCSE examinations, which kicked off yesterday. So whichever school you went to back in the day, or even if it is recently, please let us know as KCSE continues across the country. What do you have to say to your former school, or what do you have to say about the ongoing examinations? Of course, that is also in the papers, and we'll be taking a look at the business of education also there in the newspaper review section. Hope for the young people, financial inclusion. Those are the discussions we're having also as well here with the guests that we've invited over onto the show. With all this pain that is going on in the world, financial inclusion and financial management is going to be important to you as a young person, as a young business, and also as a student in college. How do you manage your expenses? How do you manage your expectations? And how do we go about in terms of financial inclusion for the whole republic as a whole? The guests who I've invited here on the show, I'll be letting you know of the information on their details, their background, and of course, any questions that you have, we'll be taking them over on our social media platforms. As of the moment, a roundup of all the business news is coming up to you from KUTV Newsroom, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, what is happening on those roads? Welcome to KUTV Rise Today, Biashara Tuesday. My name is Richard OKENYE. Let's kick it off and have fun. All right, gazetted holiday. I think I need to say that as early as now. Interior National Administration Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has gazetted Monday, November 13th, 2023, next week on Monday, as a public holiday. And this is following a decision by the Cabinet that on this day, citizens will be expected to plant trees as a patriotic contribution to our national efforts towards saving our environment and also saving our country from the devastating effects of climate change. Dennis Kimani, who will be joining me here on the newspaper review section, is the chairman or the chairperson of the Youth Green Society. YGS chairperson will be here with me, Dennis Kimani. We'll be taking a look at what is happening in the headlines of the newspapers, but as well a discussion on what this holiday means for us. The first one of its kind, in which Kenyans are expected to participate in tree planting exercises all across the Republic towards helping us combat the effects or the devastating effects of climate change. The national examinations will be expected to continue as they are also already kicked off yesterday. But on that day, as the holiday continues in the rest of the Republic, examinations will also be going on in these secondary schools. Recently constructed road here between Garissa to Mogadishu by a Chinese contractor. It doesn't look good in this information we're getting from the northern part of the Republic. This is time for us to look at the information on transport and traffic conditions in the city and also around the Republic. So the first one there, from Garissa to Mogadishu, the road constructed here badly damaged by the heavy rains that are being experienced over there. How is your county prepared, by the way, for the heavy downpour that is currently going on all across the country? Mathri route here, information saying that Mvuli Road at 2 a.m., some El Nino expected rains as of yesterday, and then roads are unroadworthy. Roads are unroadworthy. This is Oga saying on Twitter. Oga saying as well here on Mvuli Road from 2 a.m. trees barricading the road because they fell over. That is because of the heavy rains that were experienced overnight. So it is not passable as of the moment. Magadi Road, the project looks stalled as well. There's debris all over this place, and the motorists are saying it's dangerous for them. So Magadi Road, Kenya and NTSA Kenya being asked there what's up with the construction or with the project that now looks stalled over there. Over at Gitaru interchange, traffic is heavy on that side. The state of that particular section is bad and has become the everyday reality. Avid Adventure saying here on Twitter, and a complaint about Gitaru interchange and a photo there of the heavy traffic on that side. The Nairobi Expressway, why don't you do an app that you can use to scan and pay all these receipts if someone is in ETC? So this will reduce long queues, and as well as for those who have been paying before they get to the paying booth. Yeah, so Jesse McBull requesting that the Nairobi Expressway gets an app for itself to ensure that road users are using that early as possible. The county government of Nairobi already has My County app through Safaricom and Machakos as well. So I'm hoping Nairobi Expressway can have this also up there. A photo of the Energy and Water Utilities Regulatory Authority in Tanzania. It seems that prices of petroleum products on that side of the East Africa are going down, even as we're expecting ours to be hitting 300 if the statement by the CS for that department or for that ministry is anything to go by. So just a photo from Dennis Musa reminding us of the petroleum product prices over in Tanzania. It's lunchtime and traffic cops are not controlling traffic at Nyayo Stadium and Bunyala Road roundabouts. This is from yesterday, and they're saying the roads are not getting any service from these traffic cops. What is their work, even as traffic builds up over there? Yellow line is an explicit message and not an opinion open to varied interpretation. That is Village Madman reminding you of road rules. Remember, it is slippery in major parts where rainfall is currently going on. So remember to go carefully if you're going to work or to business. But let us know of what is happening on those roads, alternative routes that people can get to use, and then we'll be giving you more of that information as the show goes on. I'm telling you who I have here on the show in matters of financial management and financial inclusion, so don't go far. I'll be right back. It's been really difficult for individuals, young businesses, and young people to access vital and affordable financial services and products that will be very useful and are sustainable in terms of progress in economic impact. This morning, we're taking a look at the status of financial inclusion in Kenya. What are some of the most available services and products for you in terms of finance and financial inclusion? I'm having this conversation with Dr. Charity Njoka, who will be having a look at the market perspective in terms of the state of financial inclusion in Kenya. But also, this conversation will be continued or will be had parallel with another young gentleman here with us on the show, the president of the Finance Society of Kenyatta University, FSKU, that is Mr. Calvin Inzala. He'll be joining also Dr. Charity for that conversation on the show. The state of financial inclusion for the Republic as a whole, for business people, for young people. But as a campus student, as a young person who's going to university looking to get into entrepreneurship, or also just financial aid for your studies, balancing business here and there if you're a young entrepreneur, what is the financial management tips or what financial management lessons can you pick up here and there to ensure that you have a good balance in your finances? Tracy OKENYE is a peer counselor at Kenyatta University, as well as Arafat Thuranira. He'll be here with me. He's also a peer counselor at Kenyatta University. I look at financial management for university students, but also financial inclusion for the Republic as a whole. Join us for that conversation. Money Matters here on Biashara Tuesday. Before I take that break and then come back with them, but also with information of what is happening all around the world, I want to leave you with food for thought in terms of money, because we're preparing for that conversation on money. The concept of money is very circumstantial. Imagine this, having 1,000 Kenyan shillings. Having 1,000 Kenyan shillings feels like having nothing. But just imagine looking for 1,000 Kenyan shillings when you're in a dire situation. That's how circumstantial money is. Food for thought. I'll be right back. This is Biashara Tuesday.
Maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
The folks are going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass kufuku. People pa ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audio-visual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
This man, to him, women are just like pieces of meat. And worse, he makes them fall in love with him and leaves them heartbroken. What kind of man are you?
The first time I saw Dylan, I knew we'd be together forever and ever. It's destiny. He loves me. We'll make a family. Who is Nambi? Nobody.
If you see or think you're man enough to step into my shoes, then be my guest and take a minute.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za tarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani swaibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahoda mwendesha chombo cha baharini yani. Ua linalunukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
This year we have 3 theme areas: food security, nuclear energy, and then climate change.
And it unites those who believe in the harmony of human prosperity, vibrant ecosystems, pristine oceans, and stable climate.
Nuclear energy has the potential to address the pressing issue of energy poverty in Africa, where up to 600 million people have no access to reliable electricity.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Tech Innovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the 4th Industrial Revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
what are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that we are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Can Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo tune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
Dr. Austin Omondi already has one financial statement or one money statement to make following the one that I made earlier before we went on break. Anasema, another new day without $94.9 million, but I'm heavily contented. So this is a welcome to you, Japrado, on the show. Welcome to Biashara Tuesday for all of you who are tuning in. Please let us know where you are watching us from. We're streaming live on YouTube as well, so you can find our live stream over there and follow through with the broadcast all the way to the end of the show. Let us know. Then we can be tagged as well on X or Twitter at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_OKENYE, and also on other social platforms which are on. We'd love to hear your feedback on the conversations of the day coming up right now, which is the conversation that we're having in a moment with two guests that I've brought here on the show. It's financial management for university students. If you have a college going person around you, or if you are one, this is a very important discussion for you. But also, even if you're out of college, I know financial management is going to be important for you, or these tips that are going to be shared here are going to be important for you to also translate to your day-to-day, because some of them are around budgeting, some of them are around emergency funds. And I'm having this conversation here, and it is with a lady and a gentleman who are already here on set with me. Tracy Akinyi is a peer counselor at Kenyatta University. Tracy Akinyi already on set here with me, and also accompanied by Arafat Thuranira. This has been quite a mouthful name for me. Arafat, Welcome to the show. Inaisema sawa hiyo ya pili.
So it's Turanera.
Turanera.
Accent.
With the accent. Yes. Turanera.
Yes.
Are you from Tarakaniti?
From Meru.
All right.
Yes.
Peer counselor at Kenyatta University. Welcome to the show, guys. I'm going to allow you to do justice to, your introduction. Let us know in terms of peer counseling what you're up to at Kenyatta University individually, and then we can move on to the discussion on financial management. I think because you already spoke, I'll start with the lady for this one. Tracy.
Okay, so as a Kenyatta University peer counselor, by my name I'm Tracy OKENYE, Kenyatta University peer counselor. So as a Kenyatta University peer counselors, mostly we care for students in Kenyatta University. So we handle matters to deal with the reproductive health, mental health, and also financial management. And actually today we are here to deal with the financial management.
All right.
As a peer counselor, though, it's wide. We deal with several things, but majorly on the three. Yeah.
All right. Arafat, I'm guessing it's still the same, on the same things she's mentioned.
Well, it's on the same line. But what we do, we are like a torch. We look for those who are out of their way. We are trained to look for those who are out of their way, to give directions, to talk to people, to direct them on different areas within the university, and also to be somewhere that a connection between the students and the university generally, on all aspects.
All right.
Yes.
I have a question that's separate from what you're about to discuss here, and it's on peer counselors. What is it? How would you say it's improved that kind of university experience to have a peer counselor as opposed to having a mentor who's a bit older than you, having someone who's I'm guessing it's a peer-to-peer counseling that happens around this. How different and better is it, maybe if I can get from you, Tracy, as compared to getting someone older as a counselor?
Okay, as peer counselors, just by the name peers, you see most of our age groups, most of our age mates, they prefer meeting the peers. They prefer meeting those people at their ages, you get? So you find that most of the students, and also we interact with most of the students compared to the staff. Yeah, so as peer counselors, we get to meet most of the students compared to how the staff meet the students.
All right.
Yeah, so we are always there so that the students could reach us easily. I think this is easier compared to when we could have been having mentors. It would be very difficult for students to be moving or to be having discussions with the mentors, the older people.
All right. Yeah. Let's get into this discussion then now. Financial management for university students, a very important discussion, and I wish this was something introduced way earlier in our campus campus lives. Beginning first year, some never get to learn how to manage their money, how to manage their finances. The university life often comes with a lot of financial challenges. Maybe some that we could get to know of. What are some of these common struggles, financial struggles that students encounter, and how can we then address them effectively?
In most cases, students encounter stress because of their inability to settle their bills. Number two, students encounter psychological disturbances, mainly because of peer influence. Students also experience a lack of the ability to satisfy their basic needs in most cases. And all this is not because they never had the finances or the ability to do so initially, but I would say in most cases it's because they fail to use common sense, because I have been
common sense.
Yes, common sense.
Okay.
Trust me.
How so?
Because you see, I read a book sometime back. I'm a literature student. It says that you can never go wrong with the basics. What I mean, if you look at me right now, I'm not in an expensive suit. I'm in a shirt, a trouser, and a simple shoe. But I look good, right? I'm on national TV.
Yes.
Definitely. Yes. So it's all about living within your means and budgeting for what is available.
That's where common sense comes in, right?
Simply.
Okay.
It is that simple.
Living within your means and budgeting.
Exactly.
And we're getting into budgeting in a few there.
Okay, just to add on what Arafat has said, I think one of the things that really affect students, mostly campus students, is the peer pressure. You see, most of the students want to live a life that is not theirs.
Okay.
Yeah, like now I have a friend. Let me see, my friend is expensive, living in expensive clothes, living in expensive meals, or all that. Now the peer pressure, the peer influence will influence me to lead his or her life instead of living my life.
Right.
So most of the challenge that affects the campus student is that peer influence.
Yeah. I have someone here from KUTV called Ann Odida, who's a colleague with us. Anasema hapa tumia pesa ikuzoe. What about mtu ambaye anataka kutumia pesa imzoe? How do you turn around that statement, Arafat?
No, we can't be justifying real issues with nonsense. Apologies for that, but we have to face facts.
Okay.
You see, you can't live like a king in your first week of university, then for the rest of time you can barely afford food. Parents knew that they sent you a certain amount of money that you are supposed to budget. Now remember, people in university, we expect them to be the top cream. We expect them to be the intellects. They should be the people who are supposed to come up with ideas, even how to multiply the little that they have. But you see, unfortunately, the graph is inverse. So I feel justifying tumia pesa ikuzoe. Elon Musk can say that. Elon Musk can say that. Not a university student.
Can't live like a king on the first week of campus. That's
and then the rest of time you're living like a pauper.
Yeah. Okay. I think not even just for university students. I think that will translate really well for everyone else out there. Unapata the first week of salary, mtu asha anaishi like the best person or the richest man in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to say something that
okay, on this phrase tumia pesa ikuzoe. So do you use pesa that you have or you don't have this money? You know, I only use money if I have the money. But now what if I don't have the money? Okay, if I have the money, I'll use it. And how am I going to use it? So the phrase tumia pesa ikuzoe, nitatumia pesa kama ikiwa nina pesa, lakini kama sina nitaitumia kutoka wapi?
Right. Also I think tumia pesa ikuzoe, kama unaitumia vizuri itakuzoea vizuri. Kama unaitumia vibaya itakuzoea vibaya.
And that's only when I have it.
But you see, the connotation of tumia pesa ikuzoe is to influence people to squander. Actually not to spend, to squander. You see there is a difference. Yes, right. To squander. And then later regrets all along.
Right.
Yes.
So let me get from Tracy here. What advice then do you have for students in terms of setting financial goals in college?
I think setting a financial goal is something very important, and it's also essential to students because okay, in campus we have got students with different financial backgrounds. Yeah, so you find that I come to campus, I join campus, but I find my friend has got a different financial goal with mine. So it's good that I set my financial goal so that I don't be influenced with a friend's financial goal. You get? Yeah, so I think it's actually the first thing that one should always do in case you have any amount of money.
Right.
You first set the financial goal. Because now without setting the financial goal, any amount you have, then now you'll be falling in with the phrase tumia pesa ikuzoe.
Right.
Any amount of money you have, you'll use it for the purpose that you didn't plan for actually.
Okay. Does it matter how much money it is? Kama napewa 500 shillings for my campus expenditure per week or 500 per month, is it something that can still set a can I set a financial goal for 1,000 shillings?
Yes, sure.
How so?
I think any amount of money you can use it to set financial goal. Whether 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings in a week, you can still use that to budget and set the financial goal for the week.
All right.
Yes.
Arafat, how do you create a realistic budget and manage then these expenses effectively?
Number one, be practical.
Okay.
By saying be practical, work with what works for you. Don't work with what works for Ken. Don't work for what works for Gerard. Don't work with what works for Mondi. Work with what works for you. A friend told me, you see, I have, of all my friends, number one, it's a decision I made. I'm the dumbest. Like I am the dumbest.
How's that? How do you know you're the dumbest?
I hang on intelligence.
Okay.
Because you become like the people you hang out with. I am with friends who tell me, Arafat, you're being stupid. Openly. Because when they tell you that, you in life you have to know that you can be wrong many times. So if you hang out with people who see your mistakes, it's best. A friend told me, Arafat, you're complaining, but any amount of money, no matter, provided it's money, can be worked out. Now, let's say you are given by your parent 3,000 shillings to work with. Number one, you know that this is the only money you have from now to the next time you'll be having the next set of money. So prepare your basics. As I said before, you can never go wrong with the basics. So prepare with what to work with. So if per day, if I break this money down, have it in terms of percentages. You also have to treat yourself at times. You don't kill yourself because we are living, we should enjoy campus life, of course. So set aside money in terms of percentages. This percent, I'll set it out practically to do this and this. This other amount of money for these days, how much money if I divide will be enough for me. So what will I be eating within this time? A friend of mine can afford to eat chicken every day, but I can afford to eat chicken once a week based on the amount of money that I have. If you break, you need to have, we call it military discipline when it comes to money. Definitely. Because if you mess up, you will now start, actually messing up creates more problems for you. You should budget, because failure to budget will affect you emotionally, physically, because you won't have food. You don't have food because you squandered your money. You're troubling parents. The parent tells you that what I gave you was the only money I had. But look at that person who planned their money well. I have 1,000 bob. This is what is practical. This is what I can work with. Even if they are eating maybe tea and coffee in the morning, then lunch they eat maybe chapati, beans, it's food, right? Then in the evening, ugali skuma, it's food and it pushes you. Instead of eating chicken, beef, then in a week you're done. I think I've explained it in the simplest way possible. A student can understand, or anybody else for that matter.
I've seen those effects of failing to budget, and I never thought about it in terms of other issues that are not financial, so emotional problems that will arise out of that. You're troubling your parents, and then now you're at loggerheads. Unasumbuana, wanasema wanipendi, wanitumie pesa, wanasema unatumia pesa vibaya huko campus. You're not eating, you're stressed, hata kama unakula ile kidogo ni kama haikusaidii. But then there's emergencies. Tracy, I think I'd like you to pick up on this one. Emergencies can happen anytime for this campus student. Ameweka thao, amebudget kila percentage. How do they deal with emergencies if they come up throughout there or some points in their campus life?
Okay, with emergencies, let me say I had these 1,000 shillings. These are 1,000 shillings when I was beginning the semester. Maybe I was budgeting with 1,000 shillings for a week. Now, I personally encourage students, mostly when budgeting, try to save. Okay, I know it can be hard saving as a student, and you cannot. It's very difficult to save when you are going hungry. But also with savings, it requires discipline. Yeah. So when you are saving, you need to mean that you are saving. Yeah. So for these 1,000 shillings, when the student is budgeting or when the student is setting financial goal, at least the student should set aside some amount, maybe around 10% of this money, just for saving, so that in case of emergency, maybe sickness can come or any other emergency can come. And by setting aside the 10% of their 1,000 shillings, the student can at least have somewhere to begin on handling the emergencies.
All right.
Yeah.
Arafat, on savings still. I'm saving. If I can reflect back on my campus life, I'm saving in this fund. Alafu an emergency kitokea, like Solfest. Let's say an emergency that is not really an emergency, napata nikijikopa. Nasema wacha nijikope kwa savings, alafu nitajirudishia. But then it becomes a cycle. So how do I ensure that, I'm not affecting my savings even as I try and be disciplined with putting, even if it's 10% of my money?
You see, what is making you, as you said, ujikope? It depends with what is making you do that. Because you had already set your budget. You have enough to cater for your food all along, right? As she was saying, somebody may ask on TV or may have this thought, if you saved 10%, you get an emergency that requires more than the 1,000. When the 100 really help. But you see, why do we call them emergencies? They don't happen every day, right? So create a culture of saving. It's discipline.
Okay.
You see, for everything, it's like chemistry. We used to say an equation has to balance
out. Right.
So there is this side, there is this side. So everything has a consequence. So what you have to do for you to cater for that situation, that when it comes, you will be ready, you need to use the principle of, if you think about your future, your present will always be fine. Because your present was once your future. So have a tendency of saving little by little, so that by the time that time comes, you'll have accumulated something that can take care of a situation that comes up as an emergency. You see?
All right.
So it's all about looking at yourself personally, making life easier for you. I think actually what we are discussing right now is something people know. What we are doing is bringing it closer to their attention and make them take more serious action on it.
Okay.
It takes discipline, it takes practice, but eventually if you observe it from time to time, it becomes a habit.
All right.
Yes.
Tracy, financial aid and scholarships are some of the things students rely on in campus, especially to fund their education. Can you maybe give us a few tips on how we can maximize these opportunities for financial assistance within campus?
Okay, about the financial, the financial aids, that is the scholarships and the scholarships. Also, we have some bursaries from the government. Mostly that is help that the loan that the government give to students. So I think I can encourage the campus students, most of the students who are in higher learning institutions, to be always applying for the scholarship and the help, the one that the government gives to student,
Right.
Because you find that most of the students who are in higher learning institutions, from the research, you find that most of them are they take care of their own fees. So I think with scholarship and with the financial aids, the scholarship and the bursaries, it can make it easier for them for that learning period in the higher learning institutions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arafat, there are other financial resources and services within campus, support services. Can you maybe tell us some that are there within Kenyatta University that students can get to take advantage of?
You see, the university takes care of everyone equally. The problem with most students is they are ignorant. They don't know. So it's one of the reasons why we are here as peer counselors. So number one, let's start with maybe you have issues with school fees. In school we have Somesha Mwenzako, KUSA. Then we also have scholarships from the university. There are ways that universities, if really you are in dire need of help, you are truly needy, there are ways that people use to apply. You can apply and get some financial help, not for your pocket but for your school fees. Definitely.
Right.
Now also, if you happen to have issues with money, you don't know how to manage money, you are having stress, we have the wellness department.
Okay.
We have, you see, KU is a learning institution. It is I can call it a think tank. It is where brains are. We have very many qualified personnel here. It is only that students don't know. You can go to wellness, you can go to student affairs, you can get directed more, or you can even get counseling, financial advice, because there you'll be directed on where to go and where to get these services. So I would encourage students, if you have a financial issue, if you need advice, if you need help in any way, the school is there for you. We peer counselors are here for you. Seek knowledge. You see, seek to know, then you will get helped. Definitely. Yes. Also, number 3, this is mine. It may appear a little bit funny. Another financial resource for yourself are all students and all people you see moving around.
How so?
Let me tell you how. People graduate from college. I saw it myself and used the opportunity. People graduate from college. Then after 4 years, they complain that they are tamarking. Now let me ask you, generally, how many people graduate in a year, hypothetically? Thousands, right?
Right.
How many job opportunities are there in the same year?
Not as many.
Not as many. So let me ask you, all these people, the multitude that is joining colleges, how will you survive? Where will you get jobs if you don't start creating your roots and networks here?
All right.
My point is, when you go to school, don't go to school to get a job. Go to school to get learned. Go to school to make connections. Go to school to create jobs. I am a teacher, English and literature. If I'm out of school and I'm waiting to be employed, and the demand for my services is not as high, then I should change my brain set to going out there to create opportunities, so that at least when I go, I will have had created opportunities from here in college. If I go out and my business will have done well, maybe I may carry 10 of my friends, and you see how I've saved 10 people from tamarking. Now the point is, if you're in school, learn to invest the little money you have here. I'm not saying go doing business in KU. There are areas that is prohibited, but take advantage of the friends you have. Sell them shoes, sell them clothes online. I had a motorcycle that I bought. Sometime I asked myself, I had bought a motorcycle for fun. I love motorcycling, it's a hobby. So one day I thought to myself, how can I get money from this bike? Because when we are with Tracy or a friend, I can't afford to buy them or even go pass by and have lunch or something with them. So I decided, how do I make money for myself to make things easier for myself? I went got myself a driving license and decided I could do deliveries. These days I even told my parent, for the burden of upkeep and those small issues,
leave it to me.
Leave it to me. Sometimes I even surprise my mom with something. Mom, I'm a student. Mom, you can have this for yourself. Because if I'm out of class and I go out for 2 or 3 rides, I can get 500 bob. Are you seeing how easy life is when you decide to multiply the money that you have? So I'm not telling people to buy bikes. Bikes are expensive. Find a way as a person with a brain to make more of the money you have. If you create that as a culture, right from university, by the time you are out, you won't need to be employed by anybody. You will be employing people. It all starts small, then grows. I don't know how practical that may be for people, but I encourage people to do that personally because it works for me.
It is very practical.
Yes.
It's very practical. And it will sound easy. As you said, of course, bikes are expensive. And I'm just going to move it over to Tracy. Maybe not all of us can buy bikes, as you said. Maybe I'll get myself a small, setup here, my smoky pale. Or I get myself a bicycle. I deliver people to KM.
I have a friend here in KU. He met me on the road doing deliveries. He told me, bro, how do you do this? I directed him. I know he could be watching right now and he is smiling because the boy makes money. He is a second year. Yes,
he also hopped onto the idea.
Actually, he saw me on the road and asked me, how do I do this delivery business? He had a bicycle that he commutes with from Kahawa to here, a bicycle. I tell you the truth, I know this is private for him, but he makes around 500 bob to 1,000 a day. Sometimes I borrow him money when my bike does not have fuel. I tell him, bro, I've used my money to do this and this and this. I'll send you money. I'll send you this when I go to work. And I do because, of course, I have a job. But are you realizing how easy it is for him now that he has a bicycle and he is using it?
Right.
Lastly, please, people have had a wrong mentality that it is wrong or shameful to sell fruits, to sell anything else, to do business out here. People want to be lawyers, doctors. You want to go teach in a class because you've done English literature. My friend, the point is, think of a way to generate money. Even if you have to sell juice, even if you have to sell fruits out there, you see, that is what works for you. Trust me, the moment you taste business, the moment things start working,
it will be a wonderful journey. There will be no going back.
It will also be a different story at that point because watasema yule jamaa alianza kuuza matunda hapa ona siku hizi ako na gari. Mbona Mungu mimi anionekana?
And you see, so people need to get rid of that mentality that mentality of mimi siwezi chuuza. I can't sell eggs. People need to kick off that nonsensical pride. People need to be practical. Right. Because people don't make money easy.
I think that's one of the most difficult things that a campus students especially has to do because of that ego and pride that you come into campus. You know, mimi nimekuja kusoma engineering, nimekuja kusoma medicine. Unaniambia nini niende kuuza watermelon?
Let me ask you. If you see somebody selling watermelons pale, mbele ya gate ama pale nje ama KM, truly speaking, if you look at that person trying, dressing well, he can afford to live a better life and uplift themselves. What comes to your mind when you see them is not shame. It is pride. You feel that it's respect for
it's
that person.
Respect. Yes.
Exactly. So as campus students, now that we generally find something you can do to multiply your money, but above all, be practical.
Right.
Work with something that works for you. Yes. Ukipata help, don't go drinking. Don't be stupid. Exactly.
All right, Tracy. Balancing this, what he's saying, balancing work, I'm selling melons, I have a class, however you see you in the morning, I have something else later. How do I make sure that I'm, still having a personal life, academics are going well, and work is going well, as we advise on financial management?
Okay, before I go to the balancing issue, I think the part-time job is something also very important if we decide to leave the pride and the ego aside. I know it will be so hard when I joined Kenyatta University. Okay, for example, me, I'm taking education, science, specifically physics and chemistry. So if I leave my pride aside and I decide now to do or to set up a small business like now the one for groceries, if at once it will be hard, people will start calling me Mama Mboga. You see, it's not such a good name.
Not a name anyone wants to walk around campus.
But I think for me, one thing I enjoy most is when I enjoy my money. I enjoy my money more than how I enjoy the money that my parent give me or the money that I get from someone else. It's really good when you try take yourself out or when you try get yourself things from your toil. Yeah. So I think that's also one advantage that students should take in. Yeah. You leave the ego aside, then now take the positive side of it. I'm going to have my money. I'm going to control it. I have my money, making my money, and I'm going to control my money.
You're going to enjoy it?
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy it. And I don't have to call people like, I need money. I need money for breakfast. I need money for lunch. It's really tiresome.
Right.
Yeah.
Hata ukiniita Mama Mboga, as long as I'm having my meal, I'm having my
let
stuff
the Mama
taken care
Mboga
of.
name be there, but as long as I am having my meals, I'm paying my bills, and I am balancing my classes. Okay, as long as I've not dropped out to be Mama Mboga, then it's just okay with me. All I know, at last I'll be able to pay or to meet my needs without bothering anyone.
Right then. How then do I make sure I don't drop out and become a Mama Mboga? How do I balance it out?
Okay, now with balancing, number one thing that I can advise students who are involved in the part-time job or the work study thing, I think we should give priority to our academics.
Exactly.
Yeah, we should give priority to our education so that if I know I have a class, I have my business, si lazima hata nikuwe na business the Mama Mboga thing, or I sell the fruits and the groceries. Yeah. For example, I'm a teacher. Most of the time we see posters, tuition teacher needed, tutor required, or sometimes we can visit schools to look for job. We can talk to our employers if they can allow us to do part-time job. I think if I say part-time, the employer will understand that I am a student. I am studying and at the same time I am working. So on balancing, number one, I will prioritize my class. I will prioritize my academics. Yeah, that one will be one thing. And I think if I'm self-employed, like now I've set up my own grocery, it will be very easy because I'll be opening my business when I don't have classes. But now, how about the one when I am in another institution, someone's place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So with that case, I really need to talk to my employer.
Okay.
And I think with a very good boss or with an understanding employer, he or she will understand that I am a student. In as much as I'm a teacher in his or her school, I'm also a student.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arafat, now maybe just to wrap it up here, it's easy to say that, prioritize, and I saw you agree there, prioritize your academics. Lakini pesa inaweza kuwa tamu. Inaweza fika mahali pesa, but deals zinaingiana. Friday niko na deal na niko na class at the same time. So now it becomes, we are talking about financial management from a point of not having. Now we're talking financial management from a point of having. Now I have it. How do I still manage this situation where, I'm getting opportunities? It's getting really tempting. And, there's this notion that is tossed around a lot. The Bill Gates of the world and the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world dropped out of school at some point because their deals got too sweet. How do I still ensure financial management is going on? I'm prioritizing my academics at that point. Is it easy? Is it something that can be done?
You love soda, right?
Yeah.
Soda or chicken is good, right? Chicken, soda, chips. Now let's say you have 100 bob. The options you have for food are githeri, and then this githeri will cost you 50 shillings. Soda and chicken will cost you 200. And the only money you have in your pocket is 200. What would you opt for?
I'll go for githeri.
You don't really like it, but you have to, right?
I have no option.
It will keep you going. It's more nutritious, right? Now, if you're going to watch a football match today, you've done so maybe. You meet the Isikuti dancers, you meet the performance, the jugglers. These people here are very entertaining. It's very nice. But what was your objective?
To watch a football match.
To watch a football match. These are side shows. If you stay here too long, you'll miss a good seat to watch. It's okay to watch the Isikuti, but you see, these are side shows. They are entertainment, yes, but the main objective was to watch the football match for a whole 90 minutes. The Isikuti, not the Isikuti, that was not the purpose.
Okay.
Exactly. I think I have.
I think that's very precise.
Exactly.
And now brings us to a very last, of course, part of this conversation. Thank you guys for creating time for us, and for maybe just to wrap it up, guys who are at Kenyatta University might need peer counselors, might need this conversation further away from the show. Let us know where they can get to find you at. I think I'll start with Tracy, and then we finish with Arafat. Where can we find peer counselors within campus physically? Nitakuja wapi? Online kama kuna mahali naweza wa tweet, ni wa email. Please let us know.
Okay. As peer counselors in Kenyatta University, our office is at BSSC room 272. So if you want us to meet physically, or you want us to discuss something that needs a face-to-face talk, then you can always visit us at BSSC room 272. That is the office where we are situated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything online, Arafat? Social handles?
Yes. We have social handles. To make things simple for everyone, if you go to Twitter, if you go to YouTube, if you go to Facebook, when you type in Kenyatta University Peer Counselors, leave the underscore, leave the notes and everything else. Just Kenyatta University Peer Counselors. Search it. The algorithm, your Instagram, your Facebook will lead you direct to KU Peer Counselors.
Okay.
We listen, we care. We are here for you people.
All right.
Exactly.
All right. Arafat and Tracy, thank you very much for creating time for us here this morning. This has been Financial Management for University Students, a conversation that is very relevant for you, even if you're out of university. These are the Kenyatta University peer counselors that we've had this discussion with. A very crucial discussion for viewers who are within university, as I said there. This will be uploaded later on YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Please find that conversation there. Also find them, physical location, Kenyatta University, BSSC. You will find the peer counselors there for a physical one-on-one discussion. Biashara Tuesday is taking a short break. I'm continuing the conversation on finance with financial inclusion for the whole nation. What is the state of financial inclusion for young people and young businesses? Our guests are already in studio waiting to join us, so don't go too far. I'll be right back.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's Corner.
Can you believe this man? To him, women are just like pieces of meat. And worse, he makes them fall in love with him and leaves them heartbroken. What kind of man are you?
The first time I saw Dylan, I knew we'd be together forever and ever. It's destiny. He loves me. We'll make a family. Who is Nambi? Nobody.
If you see or think you're man enough to step into my shoes, then be my guest and take a minute.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting-edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
The Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them, that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself is the second advent is imminent.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that you are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detect and Can Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
beaches across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
And out of this world technology.
meet incredible scientists,
And learn fantastic facts.
explore, discover, be amazed.
Part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of ENGEN, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay!
We're learning every day. And you lead the way.
Right, financial management tips there for university students. A very important conversation we just had there with peer counselors from Kenyatta University. Remember, financial wellness is a journey, and therefore, with the right strategies, you can balance your academics and your finances and your finance goals as well. As you continue with the university experiences, remember that financial future is as well as important with your academic endeavors. So that conversation was very important and relevant, and we're going to scale it out. Financial inclusion for the nation, especially for underserved populations and the youth. Specific focus on the youth who are watching this show. How do you thrive? What kind of financial products and services are available to you and that have been made available in the current day and age? Opportunities that are ensuring that every Kenyan, regardless of their social economic background, has access to essential financial services. It's a conversation I'm having with Dr. Charity Njoka, PhD. She's joining me here alongside the president of the Finance Society of Kenyatta University, FSKU. We've had a couple of guests from FSKU before here on the show, and today we're having the current president, Calvin Inzala. Don't go too far. I'm coming back after this break. Brian Cassiano watching live from Kenyatta University, the old Menengai hostel, I may specify, including the very specific location, Mali anaishi within Kenyatta University. Thank you, Brian Cassiano, for joining us here. MC Tosh saying that Arafat, wise speaking man. That's Arafat who just left the set on financial management for university students. Masharia Nelson Wanderi. These are good insights on Biashara Tuesday. Thank you for joining us here on this show. On Twitter, remember to tag me at Richard_Okenye at KUTV Kenya Fishware. Fishware 2020 is watching the show. Is see here Abed Mureithi all the way from Kasarani as well. Fanny Chaguru and Ojwang Mariam following the show on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. Boniface Otieno as well joining here on the show. And man who's been lost here for quite some time, ametupotelea sana, Edlens joining, and very happy to be back here following through with Biashara Tuesday. Let me introduce the guest who I have prepared here for you on the state of financial inclusion in Kenya. I'll allow them to introduce themselves, from Dr. Charity, and then we get to hear from the president. Alafu, we get to hear what financial inclusion is all about here this morning on Biashara Tuesday. The hashtag to use, hashtag Biashara Tuesday. Dr. Charity.
Thank you. Good morning, Kenya. My name is Dr. Charity Njoka, lecturer in Kenyatta University, specifically Accounting and Finance Department. I am a trainer also in financial inclusion and also other areas of corporate governance. And welcome, we discuss about financial inclusion status in Kenya, specifically with respect to the youth, the gender, the women, the underprivileged. And also we also compare where we are in relation to other countries in the world.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome to the program.
Right. Thank you so much too. Mr. President, yes. This is your chance.
Thank you, Bwana Okenye. Good morning, Kenya. My name is Calvin Inzala, a student at KU and the Finance Society of Kenyatta University President, and also the organizing member committee of Career Week.
Okay.
Yes.
Career Week was a few weeks ago, right?
The one that was a few weeks ago was Culture Week.
Culture Week.
Yes.
And then Career Week comes.
So the Career Week comes now after Culture Week. It was the end of the second semester.
The second semester.
Yes.
All right. I'm hoping we'll have you here again, of course.
I will I will be here again.
All right.
Now for the
Definitely.
training.
Dr. Charity, maybe now we begin with you here to kick things off. Can you provide us with an overview of the current state of financial inclusion in Kenya, highlighting maybe progress which has been made in recent years, if there's any?
Yeah, thank you. If you'd allow me, first of all, let us know what is this thing which we call financial inclusion.
Right.
Normally, we talk of financial inclusion as the access to both individuals and businesses of the financial services. And this is access to the credit, access to loans, access to insurance, access to whatever services, even banking services. And currently, because let me say that I've been in Kenya for long enough, I can actually say that we have actually seen progress. From the time we actually had physical bank passes, where you could present in the bank once in a week, and today I don't even have to go to the bank armed with a physical document.
It's right here.
Yeah, it is right here on my phone. So, and I don't have, like, for example, to, like the way we used to go, like once in 7 days. And today I can access my banking products. I can even access credit. I can pay for insurance right from my phone. Actually, we have made a very big stride. Within, I would say, within 20 years, we actually where we used to hear where the developed countries were. So let me say that currently, irrespective of all this, we still have some few individuals who still have not yet reached the point where other persons within the country are. And allow me to say that as much as we talk of the youth, and these are the youth, for example, Calvin here, and even maybe you included, who maybe because of their income, because of their age, because of their level of education, some of them, they may not still be able to access these particular services.
Right.
So when we actually talk of the financial inclusion, financial inclusion is actually affected by 4 factors. One of them is the age. The younger you are, the more disadvantaged you are. Again, the gender. The women, and allow me to say women, they have actually been discriminated. For the reasons which we are going to discuss.
Right.
Then the other thing is about the level of income. The other thing is also about education. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we get into the challenges, of course, then to see what roles the services have had in serving this underserved or reaching this underserved population that you've mentioned there, Calvin, there are pillars to financial inclusion. Maybe you can let us know of that as well. And how do we compare with other countries, do you think, at this point?
Okay, thank you. For the pillars for financial inclusion, we have the government. And the government should or plays a bigger role in disseminating this information to each citizen.
Okay.
And also we have the employers. The employers as well plays a major role because they need to provide this information as well. And the government can as well help the employers provide this information to its employees. And we also have financial inclusion in terms of how much do people know it. Yes.
All right. How do we compare generally? Do you think we are at a good place in Kenya when you look at other top countries in terms of financial inclusion?
Yeah, in terms of comparison, first allow me compare with the West countries or Western countries. Those are like the European countries. Comparing with the European countries, actually we still have somehow long way to go. But I believe with good management, with good government, we shall get there. And we are making a progress.
Right.
But comparing with our neighbors and our other countries, African countries, I think we as a country, we have made a journey.
All right.
Yes.
We've made quite some strides here. And Dr. Charity, maybe to bring this up to you, recently we had a visit from the British Royals. King Charles was here. And one of the things that he was shown was the M-Pesa service, which has revolutionized financial inclusion. And we keep, thumping our chests all over the world that we have instant payment, which is unlike any other place, including the Western countries that Calvin is mentioning there. How have such services played a role in reaching to the underserved populations that you've been mentioning?
Yeah, thank you for that question, because I would actually say that I have been here before even these phones came. And actually, I've seen the development of all these services, including the M-Pesa. And one of the things I would say about the M-Pesa is that it has actually touched all the sectors in the entire Kenya. Education, medical, whatever sector, agriculture, it has really touched. For example, if you look at education today, a parent doesn't have to go physically to the bank to pay the fee. You can actually use the M-Pesa and pay directly the fee. You don't even have to go like the way people used to go initially to the bus station and pay some money for the money to be ferried in a public means. Again, if you look at the hospital, you still don't have to queue somewhere to pay, and it means you can simply pay for this particular service, including the medical insurance. So right on your phone and using the M-Pesa, you can even send money to your daughter, your son, who is outside the country. So even to pay your employees who are working in your farm, or if you are doing farming business, you don't have to be there. You can physically organize, and every payment, even the receiving, it is right on your phone with M-Pesa.
Right.
Yes.
There's also now, other services from government like Hustler Fund and other which have been, initiated by government before. How do we then, as a country, ensure that we are more competitive, as it's been mentioning, maybe we are lagging behind some countries from the western side of it. In Africa, we could be at the top when compared to our neighbors. How do we ensure we are still more competitive as time goes?
So my take is this, and this is actually a call to the Kenyans, that once you receive loan, pay it. If you are a student and you have received, for example, money from HELB, pay. If you have received money from the Hustler Fund, pay. It is not free money. And this is how, when you pay, another person is going to get this money and again carry on the business. But as long as we are receiving money and we are not paying, we are not making payments, then the fund itself, it may not actually serve the purpose.
Right.
So actually it is my call to call upon all the individuals who have received the money. Remember, the money has, it was initially a fund of 20 billion, now it is 5 billion.
Right.
There's a possibility that it may even be zero.
Scrapped off, yeah.
It may be scrapped. So I actually call upon the Kenyans that once you use the money, actually it is free money, pay off the money, let another person also benefit from this.
Right.
And on that same note, I also call upon the Kenyans that when you receive this money from the Hustler Fund, use it constructively. If it is for your business, put that money in the business. Don't consume the money. Yes, that's the only way you are going to realize the value of the Hustler Fund. And I wish that after this, or after the various phases of the Hustler Fund, a survey can be done where the government has, or probably can determine, did actually people use this particular money to finance their small businesses? How was this money consumed? Was it for capital? Was it for boosting of the businesses? That is a call I'm making to the government.
Right, that would be very relevant information, I think, in trying to make it more competitive. And I'm hoping this could, or can easily be translated even to help. Let's take a look at, what has this money that's been disbursed to students been doing. Let's take a look at the percentage in terms of, was it used in academics? Did they have fun with it? And also a call out to students. I'm hoping Calvin can do that as well, that, when you receive your help as well, pay it back or use it constructively. Si lazima ununue debe, umeweka pale kando kwa room, yeah? While progress has been made, Calvin, challenges still exist, such as the ones you're mentioning there. What are some of the barriers as well that you can bring up that have led to, maybe the progress in financial inclusion to not be as fast as we think it should be?
Thank you. For the barriers or for the challenges that are facing this financial inclusion, one, and I think which is a major one affecting us as Kenyans, is unemployability. Actually, many of the youth lack employment. And if you lack employment, somehow you don't have the financial or the ability to meet your daily obligations. So these people, I think, if they can have access to employment, it will help them meet this all subsidy. And also for the other challenges, comparing with other countries, is the technology. Somehow we don't have enough technology, or people don't have enough idea of the technology, how they can handle it, how they can use it. And if you just, like you mentioned, you can receive services right from your phone or your immediate gadget that you have in hand. But if you don't have knowledge how to use that gadget, I don't think if you will be able to access that information.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So information there is what I'm getting. The lack of necessary information in terms of using these technology tools for financial inclusion. That's a really important point there. Women's financial inclusion, Dr. Charity, I think this is very specific and relevant for you. Women's financial inclusion is also often a focal point when discussing these matters of finance. Could you shed light on the gender gap that is there in Kenya and how can we close it?
Thank you. That's a pertinent question, which many people have said that women have been over-glorified. Their status is being put up, which I really want to disagree with, because from the time immemorial, gender, or generally, let me say that the women have actually been disadvantaged. And allow me to say again that it's only when generally women have something of their own, they have income of their own, that is the only time they can be able to expand to the other aspects of financial inclusion, like having an insurance or even having a credit or even having a savings account. Now, how many women, for example, today have a title deed for that piece of property, which they can actually use as a collateral to get a loan? Very few, unless they have bought it in their own name when they have been economically enabled. Now, the very same thing also applies to the women, that even when we go to seek employment, we are aware that there are some organizations which will not employ a pregnant woman, and with all due respect, we respect them. For example, the military, you are not supposed to become pregnant, they cannot engage you when you're pregnant. So again, we see the possibility again of a woman becoming economically viable or uplifted diminishing because the person is simply a woman.
Right.
And actually, when I talk about the women in this particular case, I like making a passionate call, which I'm making on this TV, that can the various institutions, including the banking sector, come up with products specifically which are friendly to the women? Is it possible for a loan repayment to be increased slightly for a woman who is a borrower? Can the lending rates be lowered in a small way for a woman who is a borrower? Can a specific account or products be created for a woman without asking her the details of what else do you have? It is known that give a woman small resources and she's going to create a bigger empire out of it. So let the institutions leverage on the capabilities of the women, which has been demonstrated by our leaders, the women leaders, that women can make a bigger empire from small resources. Let the products actually be created. And on the same note, I'm not saying that we are forgetting the boy child. The boy child, just as Calvin has said, that even when employers call upon people to employ, like I think the other day we saw about, I don't know whether it is 1,500 people or 15,000 people going for a position of which I think there were 11 slots, and most of them were men. There's something I keep on saying, that is there a possibility for the group of the youth who are educated to come up together and ask themselves, what are our capabilities? Can we create an empire on our own? Can we create an employment? Do we have to seek employment in our individual capacity? Allow me to say that there's a group I run. It's actually a mentorship group. I call it networking and repositioning the skills for global market. And this is where we ask ourselves, what are our capabilities? What is it which we can do as a group so that we don't even have to go and say we want to be employed in our own individual capacity? So it is still possible that for the youth who actually come from the colleges, they can come together and create an empire from their individual capabilities.
All right.
It is possible.
I like to borrow tips, and one that I've heard there on inclusion of women in this or financial inclusion in regards to women that can be used for the youth is I think banks should also have financial products that are tailored for the youth, especially who are unemployed. Interest rates which are friendlier or at least different. And I think Calvin will agree with me on that one, that we get something that is specific for the youth, because they are also part of these groups which financial inclusion has not been able to reach to, especially the unemployed. When we're speaking about matters of employment, Calvin, what role does the employer, play? And I'm sure, the young people who are employed would like to know, is there a way my employer would help me in terms of financial inclusion? Does he have a role?
Yes, actually, for the main pillars for financial inclusion, one of them is an employer.
Okay.
And an employer, I believe, for him to be successful, he needs to provide this information to people.
Okay.
If you don't know, you need to perhaps save your money or get in touch with the government running things, which the employer should provide such things. I don't think if the person can be able to perhaps get into such things. So the employer has a greater role in helping his or her employees get this information and provide the information perhaps to the government, and also act as a link between the employee and the government.
Okay.
We have the services that the government provides, like NHIF, NSSF. So is the employer that pays these services on behalf of the employee. Yes.
All right. It's important to make them know, of course, of what they're paying for and how these financial services are going to be useful.
They will be benefited.
Right. Financial literacy, I think it's important that it's brought it up, and now that we have you as a lecturer as well, have we improved financial education in Kenya at this point, and what can we do? What more can we do within our institutions?
Thank you for that question, because financial literacy as a program is actually not there. It's actually conducted by the individual regulators. For example, the CBK, sometimes it does that. The KRI, it also has financial education again for the taxpayers. Very few institutions actually conduct financial literacy or programs for their stakeholders. So it is actually the high time financial literacy was to appear somewhere in the CBC, in the new curriculum. Otherwise, we have learners here, for example, Calvin and the others, who maybe for the first time they are being given money by their parents. Initially, they never used to have even to hold any pocket money in high schools. But now they are here handling even finances. And the very basic issues of the financial management to deal with the finances which they come across when they're in college requires to be given to every person in the entire. And I think it's in the entire Kenya. And I think it is also important that even for the banks, even before they issue that particular loan, they need to have a financial program or education program for all the borrowers, such that, even if the borrower is actually free to go and use money for whatever purposes, but that general education to all the borrowers. Remember, we have seen people borrowing money to go and gamble.
Yeah.
We have even seen people borrowing and gambling and wherever, and even gambling and even selling their private property. So the fact that even if money is not being given free of charge, it is upon the responsibility, I believe, upon the lender to have a very basic financial literacy program for the stakeholders.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Calvin, when it comes to matters of borrowing, the youth are the most, the biggest borrowers in the Republic, being that it's the most unemployed, demographic of the population. We've seen previously figures from including, Fuliza, 23 million Kenyans having an overdraft and they have not repaid. Some of them had to be, the president had to come with new regulations and frameworks to ensure that they are not under or they have not been blacklisted from lending. How can we do better as the youth now that we have looked at what can be done in terms of getting financial inclusion to us, closer to us? What can we do ourselves to ensure that we're not falling victim of this financial inclusion that we want to be a part of, that we're getting money, that we're using it effectively, and that we're getting it from the right places?
Okay, thank you. Just as Dr. said, this information need to be provided to everyone, or to mostly, now that the youth are being affected, or the main stakeholders in these matters. So it needs to be provided to them. Now, as youth, I believe for you to keep running or to get running is a personal obligation.
Okay.
Take this as a personal initiative that you need to take care of such issues. If you are given a loan, if you are given a help, this loan needs to help another person. If you are not sure enough, or if you are not obligated enough to pay this loan, then what do you expect in future? Do you expect this person again to give you or to entrust you with money again? So it's a financial, is a personal initiative that when given something or when given this loan, kindly pay it back so that we can get growing each other and each day.
All right. Doctor, you have something to say there? On,
allow me to say something there.
Okay.
Because actually, and there's nothing wrong with the Fuliza.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with all the mobile loans. But the question is, what are you doing with the money? And some of the studies have been done which have actually shown that most of these loans, especially the mobile loans, which have been taken by the youth, they are simply for lifestyle, to maintain that high lifestyle. And this is where the challenge of the youth comes in, of the peer pressure. Because you want to buy that phone which is like for your friend, you have to get a mobile, you have to get a loan. And the other thing is about, I like to say is that if it is a Fuliza, or if it is a loan forever for whatever amount which you are taking, ask yourself 3 questions or 2 questions.
Okay.
Is it important? It is either important or not important. Is it urgent? It's either urgent or not urgent. If it is not important and it is not urgent, take back the item to the shelf. You don't have to buy it. Allow me to say here that there is one youth who actually told me, anytime I go to the supermarket, I normally know that I have 5,000 shillings. From where? From the Fuliza. And I tell them you don't have. Because it is actually not your money. Yeah, you cannot say that you have, because it is a credit facility of 5,000. You don't have. Simply say that you are a slave.
Right.
Yes, or 5,000 shillings. And you cannot be. You cannot be saying that you have 5,000 shillings, which is not yours, which you don't have.
Right.
So it's actually a call upon the youth that the Fuliza and all the others, just like the betting, once you are used, you are hooked in it. Can you find a way of getting out of this? And you simply ask yourself, is it urgent? No. Is it important? No. Then I cannot Fuliza. Don't.
Watu wanahesabu, anasema if they have 1,000 in M-Pesa, an account kama 6,000.
Yes, that's what they normally do.
Plus because niko na pesa. Nahesabu hadi ile hauna. Right.
Yes.
Savings. It's very important as well in terms of financial inclusion. Calvin, I think, are the youth saving? Do you think the youth are saving? Ama hatuna kitu ya kusave?
Perhaps 10% are saving.
What can we do to then improve our savings culture? I had asked this question earlier when we were having a conversation on financial management for university students, and it brought me back to what I used to do, personally speaking, while I was at Kenyatta University. It's I would save and still borrow myself, nikitaka ku-maintain lifestyle, kama daktari amesema watu wanataka kwenda out Friday, na mimi nasema nitoe savings nitajirudishia Monday, which never really happens. How do we encourage saving and saving well, such that siti najidanganya I am saving but I'm not really?
For the saving, as well, is just a personal obligation. You need to have that mentality that this money I'm keeping it aside, it will help me in future. If you don't know what you're saving for, then I don't think if you will have that mentality for saving.
Okay, so not just saving for saving.
Don't just save for saving. You need to think of in future.
Okay.
Why am I saving? How will I benefit when I save?
Right.
Then I believe that people will save. And also peer pressure from others. If you can distance yourself from such things, I think you can work well with saving.
Right. Doctor, they say that I can't save what I don't have. How do we save what we don't have?
Yeah, you can still save. Because I don't believe that there is a person who is funded 100%. Your lifestyle is 100% funded. Even if it's 100% funded by your parents, for example, like Calvin and the other students in Kenyatta University, you cannot again keep on asking money from your parents every month. You should actually ask yourself, when I'm given this particular money, what percentage can I save? Now, let me say that the saving culture here, I want to look at it from the 2 perspectives. Those people are employed and those persons who are not employed. Those persons who are not employed, they are receiving their upkeep from a particular source. And nevertheless, they can still save something, which they would say at the very end of the year, this is what I have saved. And what are you really saving on? You are really saving from consumption of these other services which are not necessary. So that is where you cut the cost. And I believe that as you continue consuming, for example, if you're a student, whatever it is which you are you are normal expenditure. Sometimes you can say, I need to cut on this particular expenditure because I need to save around 20 shillings. And every time, for example, your expenditure, let's say it is 100 shillings, and you consume around 80 shillings, the balance of 20. Go ahead, put it somewhere. You can even open an M-Pesa. We have an M-Pesa savings account. Yeah, put the money there even if you don't have a bank account.
Right.
But I would encourage every person who is over 18 years old to open a bank account. After some time, go and lock in money, even if it's 1,000 shillings, so that it is not affected by the inflation.
Right.
It is still possible even at the end of the year to be saying I have 1,000 shillings in a bank account, which you cannot access again through your phones. Again, it is more about what do I need to do as an individual to ensure that I am not tempted to withdraw that particular money. Yeah, so put it in a way where you may not easily access it, but at the end of the day you'll be saying at least that 1 year, or when I was in campus, I saved 100,000. It is possible.
Yeah. I remember back in primary school, we used to have a trick where you give your friend the money and tell them hata nikifanya aje usinirudishie hata nikilia
by force.
Na ikifika wakati unataka kumpiga vita naona ni pesa yangu tafadhali nirudishie. So maybe find ways if you don't have discipline to sort of outsource the discipline. You put it somewhere you can't access it in 48 hours, or you know, in an account that is locked for a week or something like that. All right, so for someone who's watching, for our listeners particularly interested further in maybe exploring this topic, are there resources within FSKU, or are there workshops that you do? What activities are there in financial inclusion?
Yes, we do have the workshops in FSKU. We do have weekly meetings every Wednesday from 6 to 8. If interested, you may join us at BSSC room 148. We always discuss these matters, these financial issues, how we can save, how we can borrow, how we can improve our financial status, not just as students, but beyond students.
Okay. Yes. So I'm invited to join?
Very much invited.
Okay. It's not restricted to students of finance?
It's not restricted to only students of finance. It's open to everyone.
Okay.
Yes, because we understand that financial affects everyone. Yes.
All right. Dr. Charity, as we wrap up, what do you see is the state of financial inclusion going to look like? Is there a way also that communities can come together? Najua kumekuwa na chamas, as you've grown up, we've seen our parents with chamas, and some of us have tried chamas. I'm talking to my friends who are watching me behind the camera there. We've tried chamas, tumeshindwa, but you know, maybe some positive outlook on how it's going to be in the Republic in general.
Allow me to first of all look at the bigger picture. Climate change is here with us. You can see the effects. We can also see the inflation. We can also see the shocks which are happening. We have the war all over the world. Irrespective of that, there is a possibility that we could actually have improving on the financial inclusion by going lower to the low middle income individuals or to the underserved community. One of the things I've seen actually, which is very true, is that groups, and especially youth groups, women groups, I wonder why there are no men groups. I know they are there, but sometimes they are. But the groups, and especially in the rural village, they have actually uplifted each other. For example, where I come from, there is a group which has about 800 members. And you know what they do?
800 members.
800 members. And they do not have whatever, the insurance they have is contribution of 50 shillings to provide burial to one of their own. 800. And you know how much they collect? 50,000 shillings. And it is a group which has tents, it has chairs, it has the PA system. And this is a call. I remember there is one person who came and was asking, how can we create such kind of whatever? So there is a possibility that even as the youth, whom we are talking about here, Calvin and the others, you can actually create a group which can actually steer you forward. And remember, this particular group is also in terms of what are your capabilities. You can bring your capabilities together and you create a business. You can also create that particular group and move each other. Yes, nowadays, remember, even the group insurance products, they are there, which are a bit cheaper than individual. Yes.
On an emotional level, before I maybe get something from Calvin there, you've mentioned, the wars that are going on, inflation, we're getting fears that, petroleum might shoot up to 300 shillings a liter. How do I keep a cool head still within all these financial troubles going on?
For me, I would say that as Christians, I believe we are Christian too, let us pray for ceasefire. Let us pray for a peaceful coexistence. Let me see you as my brother. Let me not see you as a man or a person of another different race, a person of another religion. Let me see you as a fellow human being. And we simply say that we need to live in peace. Yes.
All right.
So actually, it's again a call upon all the world leaders that is it possible? Can mechanisms be put in place to stop any infighting, any fights within or between nations and within the countries?
Okay.
Yes.
Calvin, I think I'd like you to wrap it up as president of FSKU to speak to the students mostly on these matters of financial inclusion. Any tip that you can, tie it down to also financial management for university students? Conversation we had earlier on. I wish we had you on that panel as well because it's relevant for university students, but another time as well. Please let us know of a tip or one last thing you can say on financial inclusion for university students.
Okay. Before I wrap up, I think I need to echo on what Dr. has said concerning this information to even more individuals out there in our villages. For instance, in my village, we do have this association called the GLA, the Grand Lucy Association. We provide information, or we help these members in this association get information on how to maintain themselves financial wise. And also, we at the government, such associations are the ones that links you with the government and provides you information from the government. So wrapping up from the financial sector, from the FSKU, is my appeal to every student or to all students that we can do this. We can save. And it's a personal obligation that let's come together, let's reason together, let's be attending such events, let's be attending such career talks, and build our knowledge in financial matters. We can save, we can borrow, and we can build our future. We can as well look forward to having a greater society and say, look, our countries developed just like perhaps like Singapore, which is the best country in terms of financial inclusion. Yes.
All right. Here, overwhelming feedback from people who have been watching this show. I see Anne Wanjiru watching from KM live. Very informative session. Thank you and congratulations to Calvin. Rafiki live from Twin Towers within Kenyatta University. ATSB cohort. Tracy, congrats from Auntie. I think that's Tracy already left the set earlier on financial management. Lizzie Nyags to KUPC. Very informative. Also, this is Ndongo Njeri. Jilo Mamu tuned in, kama kawaida, great show happening, watching all the way from Muthaiga. Thank you for all those who are still sending in feedback and tagging me on all the social platforms that we are on. This has been a very comprehensive discussion on financial inclusion and the state that we are in as a republic, the youth and underserved population. There are a lot of financial services and products which are around you, and sometimes it's a lack of information on where to access them, how to use them, how to effectively use them. So get knowledge as much as you can. Reach out to experts such as the FSKU and Dr. Charity Njoka from Kenyatta University. Thank you guys for the time that you've had with me.
Thank you.
All right. I know there's much more that we can talk about. I have a very specific discussion that I'd like to invite either or both of you on, which is on money. And we've been trying to understand money. How do I, how do I keep money? How do I get money? How do I use debt? Our relationship with money seems to affect our lifestyle and our life in general. And I'm hoping at some point we can get time and have that discussion here.
Thank you. In fact, that is the talk we have tomorrow.
Really?
We have the talk about the peer pressure and money.
Nice. Okay.
Glad also being your guest in that panel.
Okay. Taking a short break. Biashara Tuesday. Continue tweeting, and I'll be right back.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
You know, reggae music wasn't the most popular music in my neighborhood growing up. And I discovered it on the radio, and from the first moment, just couldn't stop listening.
Many people express themselves through music.
Music is a freedom of expression.
We want the music to reach the people.
They see me smile, but they don't know what I feel inside. Traffic on I bring from the beginning. I gave you my heart right from the start. Don't break it, sorry. I gave you my heart right from the start. Don't break it. Wanna be my I'm an African.
So when you are sad and you listen to this song makes you happy, feel encouraged. The song gives you hope for a bright future.
Message the world. All talent, there's always room for improvement. To have faith.
You can be lazy and wait until it's over, or work hard and, try to be ready whenever there is something to do. We can just be on point.
We need to join hands and realize that together we can achieve.
For John so loved this world now, he gave his only begotten Son. Whosoever will believeth in him should not perish but live. Jah did not send his Son to condemn this world, but through him this world might be saved. Oh my children,
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Our planet with. Join us on the most exciting adventures across the African continent.
See breathtaking wildlife, stunning landscapes,
and out of this world technologies.
Meet incredible scientists
and learn fantastic facts.
Explore, discover, be amazed.
Be part of the next generation of African change makers.
Be a part of OKENYE, Africa's #1 science discovery program. Yay!
We're learning
jamii ya kuhamahama. Na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok. Hii ni Boresha Kilimo. Kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
Folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass vuguvugu. People pass ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Bajuka ni kama unarusha mikono, tingisha kichwa chungu sivute kisogo.
Mbona nyinyi na wawasha nkikula nyama choma tu firifiri na
Niko na pesa kushinda babako. Kasikia vibaya uko kwenye, kasikia vibaya. I want to flex my love.
Hello everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have boxercise, we'll have kata box. Just the show comes every Thursday from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Keep it locked, make sure we keep fit, and that's it from me to you.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's
Corner.
Biashara Tuesday is coming back on air. We're having a discussion here with Dennis Kimani. YGS is joining me on the newspaper review segment. Right about now, we're going to take a look at the headlines across the dailies this morning. Grab yourself a copy as I go through the headlines, and then there's also a game in between this session, the brain teaser that you normally have. It's going to be me versus Deno, and then you at home. You can let us know how you perform there. So get your pens ready and your paper. Let me just put mine aside for a second and take a look at the headlines. They're very scary this morning when it comes to the economic impact of what these headlines are having to say on Kenya. So let me begin with the Business Daily, where KRA's in Uganda and Kenya transit fuel middlemen fight. KRA's hand in Uganda, Kenya transit fuel middlemen fight. President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda is now saying that it's banning the importation of oil through Kenya because of middlemen who've been overcharging or who've been inflating the bill by over 59%. I'm going to have a look at the numbers in a bit. Lakini tunaenda to lose that kind of business, which is totaling up to 300 million Kenyan shillings per year, or is it 300 billion Kenyan shillings per year? But the inflation figures are here as well. Front of the Business Daily, Kenya is losing business from Uganda because middlemen are inflating the bills. The Daily Nation also speaks of fuel, but it is a scary statement from the Cabinet Secretary of the Energy Ministry. Kenyan shillings 300 a litre for petrol on cards. 300 shillings a litre for petrol on the cards amid the expectations that fuel prices will drop next week when the government is releasing its monthly review. CS Chirchir says that the prices could hit a historic high due to the Israel-Hamas war. However, CBK has a bulletin. The bulletin of the first week of November says that fuel prices or global oil prices are on a decline. So, in who's fooling who and other short stories, we're going to discuss that with Dennis Kimani in a short while. But the Standard gives us the punchline, which is a culmination of all these headlines, and it reads, "You're on your own." That's it. You're on your own. That's the headline at the front of the Standard. Let's get into the discussion then. Welcome to the show, gentlemen. How are you this morning?
I'm great. It's a chilly morning.
Right.
An El Nino morning. We thought that it wouldn't happen, but now it's here with us.
Okay.
We are grateful.
Are you saying someone is lying somewhere?
There's no lies because the meteorologists are the people who are giving us the data.
Okay.
So if you didn't prepare, now it is catching up with you.
But someone else said that there's no El Nino.
They thought that the time the news came, it was the time El Nino will come. But they were told El Nino will come even later to the next year.
All right.
Yes.
So we're expecting heavy rains all the way through to next year.
Yeah.
It's a cold morning in Nairobi. I don't think there's anywhere else that that isn't cold this morning. But if you're watching us from a sunny region of this republic, maybe the coastal region, please let us know how you're enjoying your El Jua. Right? You're on your own. They are saying here on the Standard. And I feel like you've said this statement before here on the show.
Yes.
Right.
I think
on.
Today,
that's what the Standard has to say.
The Standard today has won it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The Daily Nation, not so much. 300 a litre for petrol on the cards. The Business Daily, it's a bit too long. Carries hand in Uganda, Kenya. But the Standard is saying you're on your own. And we're being told this by the cabinet secretaries who are at the helm of government. When government tells you you're on your own, they know.
Yeah.
Who do you turn to?
Thank you, Richard, for this opportunity this morning. I want to remind Kenyans, we are just 1 year from elections, and the government that we have in place now won and rode on the petroleum. Prices going up in the previous regime. We saw them beat Uhuru when there's a time even there was no petrol in the
fuel shortage.
Yeah, there was literally fuel shortage. But we saw these big politicians who are in power now. They were coming with big CUV vehicles, full tank, filled by the government, telling people that the government is doing imeongeza mafuta. What are they doing now?
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So there are fears that it could hit 300 Kenyan shillings. That is in the next review. However, this is contradicting the figures that we have from CBK's weekly bulletin, which indicates that the global oil prices are declining due to the dissipating effects or the impact of this war. They're saying that the effects of the war between Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Palestine, the effects are not as bad as it was at the beginning. Therefore, global oil prices are going down. World Bank also attributes this, the dissipating effects of the war to, a decline in inflation as well all over the world. But when it comes to Kenya, we are seeing an increase. So where is this increase coming from? Is somebody lying to us at this time as well?
The international formula for getting the price of fuel is the same in the world. So there's no country that uses a different formula. But what makes prices of fuel different from country to country, there are more than other externalities. We can see even the dollar, the fluctuation of the dollar affects how the fuel at the pump, the prices at the fuel at the pump.
Okay.
But also, the main key is the governance of a country. If you have a country that leaders are are just hustlers, you know. And I will tell you why I use the word hustler, because Kenyans are not hustlers. No one is a hustler. We are hardworking Kenyans. Richard, we wake up in the morning, early in the morning, to be in this show. Not because you're a hustler, but you're a hardworking Kenyan who want to see food on their table.
Right.
Otherwise, if you're a hustler, you could be doing some illegal things. Okay, hustlers are people who do hardworking things, but are illegally. You see, so this hustler narrative is selling in this government, because they are telling people the EPRA, EPRA, the prices that are international are not the prices that are reflecting. Even the Ministry of Treasury is recording different prices.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're having a very different statement from the CS, who also said that he read in an article somewhere. Really interesting times we live in, where the CS is quoting an article. I read an article that international prices could go to $150 per barrel because of the Israel-Hamas war. Very soon, we're going to see a CS telling us they watched a TikTok somewhere.
Yeah,
and
they watched a TikTok.
Good information. But when you go to page 5 of the Standard, is where we get information on this decline in oil prices. They're saying at 87.24 per barrel, and this was in November 2nd, which is around 13,086 shillings, and this is a decline from what it was in October 26 at 13,500. So there's been a drop per barrel of about 450 shillings, right?
Yeah.
400 and something shillings there. But the CS is saying that Kenyans should brace themselves for possible record increase in fuel prices due to the current Israel-Palestine conflict. However, I have to say that there is also global fears, or of course analysts here, which the CS was quoting, who are saying that this could impact global fuel prices in several ways. Firstly, the Middle East is a major source of oil production, and conflict in that region could disrupt oil supply chain, potentially leading to that global availability going a bit lower. Secondly, these conflicts create market uncertainties, and I think Kenya being one of those uncertain markets, we've seen NSE, investors fleeing and dumping their stock as well. As you said, the fluctuation of the shilling against the dollar. However, this shouldn't be an excuse, right? We shouldn't have the government propagating fear before the time comes for us to be fearful.
What I think is that even the previous government had the same issue. So what the Uhuru regime did, it brought subsidies. Okay. But you see, this government has refused to give Kenyan subsidies on fuel. And that's why you are seeing even the prices are going high so much. What I can ask,
they're saying we have been subsidized as of the moment. That's what CS Chirchir.
There's no subsidy. They removed the subsidy. So where is the subsidy? If the subsidy is there, we could be seeing now from 210. It was supposed to be 160 with the subsidy. Because there was no subsidy, it was 210.
Right.
You see, now with the Hamas war, they are saying it is 300, and from nowhere, the minister I've just read from a daily like us. Right. So he has nothing. And you see, their boss told them, I know more than you know in your ministry.
Right.
You see.
And that is what is happening if you take a look at what the secretaries or the CSs are telling the National Dialogue Committee, is that things are beyond their control.
Yeah.
And therefore they are looking for measures. Instead of looking for measures to bring down the cost of living, instead they're telling Kenyans to brace themselves for tougher times.
Yeah, it is surely Kenyans are going to suffer more now that we're also having floods. Even this El Nino is going to bring a lot of trouble because we have to relocate people who are in lowlands. I have just seen a cow being washed away by floods. You see, you can imagine a cow being washed away. So the rains are heavy, and these rains will also disrupt how business is being taken into in the city, because if I cannot wake up in the morning when it is raining ice, cats and dogs, you see, I will just wait until the rain stops, or even in Nairobi we see that when it is rainy, there's a lot of traffic because of things that comes with rain. Maybe vehicles are not speeding, and that is the time people use a lot of fuel when you're going slowly. Okay. So it is really going to be tough time now that you're going to the festive.
Right. The Hustler Fund, government-to-government deal and affordable housing is the intervention that Njuguna Ndung'u, the CS for Treasury, is pointing out to a relief for Kenyans. The whole issue is you start it off, and once it's working, you release it to the market. That's what they're saying. So the government is going for a government-to-government deal, just like the one that has been there up to a few weeks ago, that is with the Gulf countries, such that we are cushioned at least against the harsh effects of the global fuel prices. However, hopefully, the Israel-Hamas war doesn't affect our prices. However, on page 2 of the Standard, we're also getting a story on oil, and this is going to affect Kenya in terms of importation deal. It is a big deal because President Yoweri Museveni has said that, there are middlemen in Kenya who are skimming him off some of the amounts of money or the bill that is receiving in terms of the amount of oil that is being imported through Kenya. What do you think this is going to mean for our own market if we are not going to be trading anymore with Uganda, knowing that also Uganda is setting up its own oil refinery, and hopefully that's going to be helping the inland regions of East Africa?
I think panapo mzee hapakosi jambo, because Yoweri Museveni has seen that middlemen are the people who are causing a lot of trouble into government, because these are people who will eat citizens' money. And you see on the same page, on page 2, they are saying they are going to end the open tender system, because you are just tendering people, and it is just going to the few people in government. So it is better we go government to government, that it is going to remove the middlemen. And that when you remove the middlemen, we all know that there's some amount of money that the middlemen add up to the prices. So even if it is a shilling now, the common mwananchi is dire to be reduce that amount. Imagine education is high, food prices are high, petroleum is there, and see the minimum and the denominator for everything, it is the petrol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. At the moment, Uganda imports 90% of fuel consumed in the country through Kenya.
Yeah.
So 90% of this is going to be, Uganda's Yoweri Museveni has banned this importation, so which means we're losing 90% of what Uganda imports, and that all goes through Kenya. It's valued currently at the total Kenya exported values total at 873 billion, which is 97 billion of which went to Uganda.
Yeah.
Therefore, this is a huge amount in terms of the economic impact in the income or revenue that the country is able to generate.
Yeah, and it is very bad to see that in the response, a whole government advisor, David D., is responding to fuel prices on Twitter. Is it what kind of a country are we running? Like, very, very important matters, but people are going, and you see that sometimes what they say on Twitter, they might be responding to someone who is nagging them, and so they just say anything, you see. But on X, the only person that I think I love is Moses Kuria, because Moses Kuria saw this, and he told the people.
So he was right?
Yeah, he was very right. He told people prices are going high. And
every month all the way to next year, March of 2024.
Yes, and that made him being demoted from labor to public service.
It was a demotion?
Yeah, it was a demotion. Because labor, you are going outside countries and you're a delegate, and you're going to every country, EU. What about public service?
Okay.
You're just here at GPO all the time.
And his offices were moved as well.
Yeah.
So he was right that fuel prices are going to be increasing. And this is something probably he oversaw. And now we're seeing here already a face-off between Kenya and Uganda is looming after this oil deal, or this oil importation deal that has gone sour. And this is soiling our trade with Uganda. Read for yourself on the developments on what Yoweri Museveni has discovered on page 2 and page 3. So Uganda is also telling us you're on your own, Kenya. You're on your own in terms of oil importation. It's going to do its own thing and directly solicit government to government deal. That is page 2 and page 3.
And so, on that, to add on that, Uganda, the prices are low, and even Tanzania.
Right.
What about Kenya? Why is Kenya always the country to compare with the others?
Right.
Yeah.
The monthly review from EPRA is coming in next week.
Yeah.
What do you expect will happen? Do you think they will increase it, or is it going to go lower, as we've seen in Uganda and in Tanzania?
This country, whatever you hear or say anywhere, read anywhere, it is true. I'm telling you, saizi EPRA is like this. Yeah, Hamas.
That's
Hamas.
what they like.
I'm telling you, next month the fuel will be 300.
Okay.
Yeah, not going down.
Let's wait and see on that. Let's move on to the Daily Nation a bit and then come back to the Standard, which also says 300 a litre for petrol is on the cards. And this, of course, is that discussion we've already had on fuel prices, or the fear that fuel prices will be going up, according to CS Chirchir. Hapo chini kuna picha ya Form 4 candidate at St. Clair Girls Secondary School in Elbagon, Nakuru County. Chemistry paper 1 ilianza jana during the first day of KCSE national examinations. So let's speak about KCSE a bit, and then already, of course, fuel tushajua inaenda kupanda, or likely. Neighboring Tanzania may reduce their fuel prices. However, let's wait and see next week. Monthly review by EPRA. KCSE now, they know. KCSE began yesterday.
Yes.
Continuing today, all the way in the next few weeks. How long ago did you do, or you don't have to say that. But if you remember back when you did KCSE and up to this point, what do you think has changed in terms of education? Do you think it's still the same day, just like you did your KCSE?
I think it has come through a lot of transformation, because we came from Matiang'i. There was that guy, the other guy. We have come from far. We came from a time when KCSE was like just people are stealing. They're doing the paper even before the paper comes. You see, so you know what the answers are. But we have seen with Matiang'i there was some security in, and we think that there will be no hustler in the exam. I mean,
there've been a couple of hustlers who've been arrested here
already for illegal cheating.
Who've been trying to illegally distribute examination papers through Telegram and other channels as well. So maybe still cheating is a very big concern in terms of education.
Yes, now it's booming business, because a lot of people are fidgeting. The university fees now are very high. If you don't do well in KCSE,
you're not going to get any slot, or you're not going to get financial aid.
Yeah, but now you also have to be poor. So these children should make themselves poor. Hata kama uko na kakitu, try and look poor so that you can get government funding.
That other guy that you were saying before, before Matiang'i, was Professor Jacob Kaimenyi,
yes,
who was the Minister for Education back then, before, of course, the Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i took it over. So KCSE already began, and there have been warnings to anyone who's trying to steal these examinations or involve themselves in any form of malpractice. There's banditry that is affecting distribution of these exams in some regions in the Republic. There's floods that are happening. So students are not able to get to the exams on time, and also examinations or exam papers are not getting to them on time, including Homa Bay, where the Sub-County Education Director said that 2 vehicles have been put on standby to take exam center managers to their schools when their movement is disrupted, because here there's floods, there's banditry, and also a lot of challenges as KCSE has begun countrywide. Leaked on social media as well, examinations, as you said there, but PS Belio Kipsang has issued a tough warning, and you can see him on page 7 of the Daily Nation, where he's pictured there.
What I think is that you cannot pass an exam by cheating. Even if you have read, you see, Richard, I'm telling you,
disagree heavily, bro.
Why? You see, if you cheat, you'll be fidgeting, because if you have not read, you don't know where that question has come from. But if you have read and then you cheat, you come back.
So you're encouraging cheating by preparation.
Yes, you cheat when you have prepared. Yeah, and that is the only thing that you'll get an A. I'm telling you, my high school was Koilel High School. We had some OKENYE. I can say proudly, we had some OKENYE. But we defeated a lot of A students. Why?
Okay.
Because these A students were like, we are trying to look for them to answer our questions, but they were in Form 1 classes, hiding themselves so that they cannot help us with the answers. Now, as we do what we do together there, we get answers, we got A's, they got B's. We went to university, they never went to university.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said it's Koilel High School.
Koilel High School in the
Koilel
barracks.
High School.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not going to translate what Mwakenya means for our non-Kenyan viewers, but yeah, you should be prepared. According to Deno, be prepared as you cheat. What do you have to say to Koilel as they prepare or as they sit the exams now?
Koilel, please do what we do. Be true to Mishi as the usual way we did.
That's your biggest rival?
Yeah, Utumishi High School Academy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Utumishi Academy.
Yeah.
All are still within barrack premises, no?
No, they're in the other side, but as we are in the other side, as we are KDF, are only Kenya Police.
How was it like for you when you sat for KCSE? Did you have jitters? Were you panicky?
I'm not underperforming student. I am a apt student. So that's why I'm telling you, I don't have to like cheat the whole thing. I just have to see the concept and I remember where I got it. So
you're killing me then.
I was just okay with it. Yeah.
All right. Let's wish the best school in the Republic all the best in KCSE. What do you think that is?
The best school in the
Republic. The best high school in the Republic.
Is it what, Alliance?
Okay. All the best to Alliance High School, which is my former secondary school. I sat exams there.
Wow.
A lot of years back. It was a panicky time, but as they always say, Alliance High School can only beat themselves. So, you know.
And why don't you brag? I see like Kimani Shongo is always bragging. I was from Alliance High School. All right.
Let me say it today. I went to Alliance. You can cut that bit and use it. But all the best to all the KCSE candidates who are sitting the examinations across the country. And of course, hopefully that the government is on top of the game when it comes to addressing these challenges, including flooding, banditry attacks in the northern region of the country, or in the Rift Valley region specifically, and also cheating cases where, of course, a few have been nabbed so far, and the state is warning against KCSE cheating. You can read that page 6 and 7. Also, please send us your regards to your former secondary schools. We'll be giving a shout out to them here as we close up the newspaper review section.
Quick Match.
All right. Tell us about Quick Match. Do you know?
What?
Heist.
Is it a heist? Yes.
90 million plus, or is it 89 million?
These people are lucky. I hope they don't get far. The DCI is still pursuing them, but I hope they won't be found.
You're going to be asked here online on whose side are you on. You know, when we hear of heists,
obviously
people are usually the side of the guys who are conducting the heist.
Yes, I'm on that side.
But you said you hope that they will be nabbed soon.
No, the pursuers won't see them because they found the vehicle at South Sea, and the people are nowhere to be seen.
All right. Let's put it into the context, and then I get to hear what your sentiments are there. There has been a heist of 94 million Kenyan shillings at Quickmart, where employees of security firm Wells Fargo, and this is a story you can get on page 11 of the Daily Nation. 2 employees of the security firm Wells Fargo allegedly ran away with 94 million Kenyan shillings, which was supposed to be transporting from the company vault to the bank. So what happened, Deno, is they had police officers who are usually accompanying this security personnel as they transport. So ni kama mimi na wewe. We're supposed to go and meet up with police officers and then go to the vault and get the money. But then we went to the vault, picked the money, and the police officers are still waiting for us. So wanauliza, mbona mtokei tuende kuchukua pesa? Amba pesa mshachukua.
I think the professor of this heist was very okay, because from what I read is that when the escorts, these police who escort them, were going to inquire why mbona pesa hazijaingizwa twende. Already the vehicles had left. You see, so there was a delay somewhere, and the game was well planned.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember in 2019 here, they've also reflected it on the Daily Nation. There were police officers as well who stole 13 bags which had 72 million belonging to the Standard Chartered Bank from a G4S van in Nairobi. So G4S and Wells Fargo were supposed to be security firms. Who's watching? Again, who's watching the watchman? Because these are security personnel who are supposed to be guarding your money, but are the same people who are running away, or allegedly here, running away with the same amount of money they're supposed to be taking care of.
When I started this show, I told you what is the implication of the word hustler. The hustler narrative that we bought, it is what is killing us. The last time I was here, there was Mama Wangara saga, the drug lord. If you go to the dictionary and look for the word, for the meaning of a hustler, it is illegal dealings, a person who is very hardworking at illegal dealings. If you look at the government that we are in now, it is full of illegal doers. You see, very rich people who are rich because of their illegal doings. So I think this Wells Fargo staff are true hustlers, and no one should go and catch them.
Are you saying that the spirit of the hustler government is not working well within the populace? That it's inspiring us to be hustlers, but not in a good way?
What I wrote in the campaign, I wrote that the hustler narrative will make a lot of Kenyans go to Kamiti or Kenyatta Hospital. Why? Because these children will be will look at the, now you get a child, everyone is on phone, and you don't know what your child is reading or looking at the internet. Imagine your child is googling the word hustler. Your girl is finding the meaning of a hustler is prostitution, because that is the literary meaning of hustler from the dictionary. Illegal doer. After that, the next meaning is prostitution. So our girls are going to be prostitutes. You see, our men are going to be thieves. So these people who, Wells Fargo's, the DCI, our channel now, go and ask the king hustler to define the meaning hustler properly.
Right.
Yes.
Daring heist there that, according to Deno, points out to that hustler narrative and the spirit of a hustler nation. We're prostituting ourselves even on the international front, Deno, because we've been touring Western countries and also all over the world looking for money. So quite something to think about. There on page 11 of the Daily Nation, the heist of the day.
We can look at page 10.
All right.
The burden of per diems, because that is also another problem that is coming with our civil servants, because a lot of people are willing to go and attend a meeting because of what they will get, not is what is going to come out of the meeting.
Okay.
And you see, when the per diems are not there, it reduces the anxiety and the ambitions of people to be involved in a meeting. And we are calling on the government to ensure that wasijieke them wenyewe per diems like us. Why I'm saying this is because I sit at the CFAs, but we are getting a lot of trouble to raise funds.
Okay.
We already signed in, but we don't have any money to go and start even fencing already.
Right.
Since we started preparing the 5-year master plan, hatujapata even a shillings. It has been deep into our pockets.
You're not getting per diems?
From where? KFS, iko broke. You see? And I think it is a little bit of the hustler narrative that we are there. Tunajitakia sisi wenyewe, but the people who are really doing the work are getting nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Per diems, for maybe people who might not be aware, are specific amounts of money that an organization gives to its staff or to its consultants per day to cover travel-related expenses or while they're working away from their designated station. You can read on page 10 where NGOs are saying now they're burdened by per diem requests from state officials, which they know is calling also that hustler spirit. They're hustling, including NGOs who are now burdened, saying that, wanahitajika kulipa a huge amount of money. The figures offered here on the Daily Nation, skia hii deno, 18,200 to a highly skilled or high-ranking personnel. So kama any PS, kama any director general, or head of a parastatal somewhere, your per diem is 18,200 Kenyan shillings. So imagine how many meetings they've been having with NGOs if you're away from your station, receiving 18,200 every time you're meeting up somewhere.
And imagine what they did with the national dialogue. They took it to Burma so that the Azimio team could not enjoy the 5-star meals in hotels. You see?
So you're saying it's a scheme as well?
It's also a scheme.
Right.
Yeah.
SRC also threatening to close down, still on page 10, saying in the new supplementary budget, the government has increased the budget to the offices of the Deputy President, the office of the spouse of the Deputy President, but the SRC, the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, SRC, their budget has been slashed. So they're threatening to close down if this is effected in 2023-2024 financial year. the Salaries and Remuneration Commission is threatening to close down because their budget has been slashed.
You see, the people who are going to give you salaries, they don't even have a budget.
They don't have a salary.
Yeah,
they don't have enough salary to continue conducting
that
the
is
business.
Kenya for you.
All right, so that is what is happening there on page 10 of the Daily Nation. You're taking us back?
Yeah, I think this is Daily Nation. Page 2, there's a very interesting story.
Okay.
And this is about the accidents. Please, drivers, users of the roads, passengers, it is raining. And when it is raining, we are going to have a lot of accidents. Please, 80 kilometers per hour.
80 kilometers per hour.
Let us go for 60.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We don't want to see people dying.
Roads are slippery.
Yeah, they're slippery.
Its visibility is affected at the time when it's raining.
Yeah.
As you can see here, 11 people die following an accident along the Nakuru-Eldoret highway. Residents there are saying it's a black spot and the government has not done enough to expand this road to avoid accidents. We did have such issues with a couple of these black spots, like the Salga. Sure. Eventually we got
there's another one along the Nyeri, somewhere there.
Right, so Nairobi to Nyeri as well, Nakuru to Eldoret. Condolences to all the families of these loved ones who perished in this accident. However, please do drive carefully there, as Deno has said.
Yeah. For international matters, I have just an appeal for the Hamas, Palestine, Israel, Russia, Ukraine,
Congo, Sudan. I am the lead cultural and natural heritage of City Park. And by lead, I mean I take care of the World War graves. You see, people who fought for World War I and II, their graves are in City Park. And please, we don't want to have another war. It's time the world negotiates. It is time to come up to bring back multilateralism. As in, we love Uganda as you love Kenya. You see, and that is the only thing that will bring peace. This haste of kutaka shamba ya mwingine, but because I was looking at the original maps of Palestine, it was very huge. Israel was just a piece of it, but now it is the other way around. What has done is that Israel has taken all the land of Palestine. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to accommodate each other.
Israel-Palestine conflict. One thing for sure is that lives are being lost, and it's real lives of children and families. So hopefully we get a ceasefire soon. And that is also the same case with Congo and Sudan and Ethiopia and Haiti as well. There's a lot of war going on all over the world.
Are Kenyans still going to Haiti?
High Court decision pending. Let's wait and see on that. Let's play a game here now. Brain teaser coming to you from Biashara Tuesday. Last time kuliendaje? Wakati tulifanya hii kitu mimi na
manze leo na hope.
I beat you, si ndio? Nice.
You won't beat me every day, man. I hope leo niko prepared.
Okay, let's get to it. Here is the brain teaser, 10 seconds per question. If you're at home, you can also join and let us know how many of these questions you are familiar with. Beginning with this one, what is the elaboration of BBI? All right, question number 2. What's the biggest telecommunication company in Africa? Okay. Question number 3. Who is the richest man in Africa? Right now or in 10 years? That could be me, easily. Question number 4. What is the governing capital of Tanzania? I hope. All right. Question number 5. What are the 4 goals of the Big 4 agenda? Okay. Question number 6. Who is the governor of Mandera? Oh man. His Excellency the Governor of Mandera County.
Yeah.
Question number 7. Who is the Cabinet Secretary Energy and petroleum. Opa kin kwa darasa. Right. Question number 8. What is the official trading symbol of the Kenyan shilling? Question number 9. We are now heading towards the second last question. What was the initial name? What was the initial name of KBC? What? All right, question number 10, which is the last one. Who is the social media influencer that recently dug wells in Kenya? All right, let's exchange. Wewe pens down bana. Unajua KCSE hakuna nini? Pens down. Yeah. Ujaandika index number hapa. All right. What is the elaboration of BBI? Building Bridges Initiative. Yeah? Right. Question number 2. What's the biggest telecommunication company in Africa? You wrote Safaricom?
Yeah. MTN.
I wrote MTN. What's the answer? MTN it is.
Whoa.
MTN it is. MTN it is. It had to be MTN. Question number 3. Who's the... Nimeanza kukubeat, bro. Question number 2. It's bad. It's bad for you today.
Sidhani.
Sidhani. Umeona answer zingine?
Lakini hapa chini nishaanza kuona.
Who's the richest man in Africa? Aliko Dangote still, right? All right. Question number 4. What is the governing capital of Tanzania? Dar
es Salaam.
It's Dodoma, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Nilikuwa nimeandika hapo into bracket.
Ulikuwa eti Dar es Salaam into brackets Dodoma. Are you what? You're not getting any of it. Question number 5. What are the 4 goals? What are the goals of the Big 4 agenda? All right, let's get it. What are they? Food security, affordable housing, manufacturing, universal health coverage. Deno got 3 of those. Half a mark.
Education to the eco-health is there.
All right. It's a quarter mark for me, Ama.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a quarter. Haina shida. Wamesema hakuna quarter, so half and 0. Who is the governor of Mandera? Ali Bora? Ali Roba? Ali Roba last time. Mohammed Khalif. Yes. His Excellency. Wow. I wrote His Excellency the Governor. Question number 7. Who is the CS for Energy and Petroleum? Davis Chirchir.
Yeah.
Is there at the front of the dailies now? Davis Chirchir, Energy CS. You got it. Question number 8. What is the official trading symbol of the Kenyan shilling?
I wanted to write KCH.
It can't be. It's wow. KES, right? KES. Sure. Yeah. Oh, nice. Nimekubeat. Is that the right answer? What is the right answer? All right.
What is the right answer?
It is the right answer.
Wow.
It is the right answer. Question number 9. The initial name of KBC.
Voice of Kenya.
Voice of Kenya? Voice of Kenya. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr.
Beast.
Government TV. No, I'm just playing. Question number 10. Who is the social media influencer that recently dug wells in Kenya?
No idea.
Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast or Jimmy Donaldson, I think. Yeah, that's the answer to the last question there. 1, 2, 3 and half right. Yeah. What do I have there?
I have half full of my half.
All right. That is great.
I think you have more Kenya there. Next time utakuwa na hizi gazeti hapa.
Listen. Sina mwa Kenya, unajua ni kwa nini? I went to Alliance.
Sure.
Okay, that's the end of our question. Please let us know what you got, and then we will be also comparing notes with us here. Deno, lastly, the quote at the back of the Business Daily as always, and then, of course, anything else that you feel we have left out.
Oh, I left out something, and this is about City Park.
Okay.
The county government of Nairobi is still agitating for the park. For the many years that they had this park, it has been reducing and reducing and reducing and reducing. So please give us a break. Let us do our work. Now that we are married with Kenya Forest Service, don't come into our marriage. Let us do our work. The only thing that we can do with the national NCCC, Nairobi City County, is it county city or city county, whatever, county city, please, the only thing we can do with you, it is to come, we do work together. Lakini siya tunawarudishia park. You have stolen enough hectares of land from City Park. Please give us a break. Wacheni tufanye kazi.
All right.
Don't disturb the Ministry of Environment with a lot of letters. You're not getting City Park back. Thank you.
All right. They have letters addressed to take back City Park.
Yes, you see, they are writing to the PS, trying to take back the park, the hectares, and all these years they have been having this park, and the only thing, the details of the letter, what they are having is that they want to make City Park a revenue stream.
Okay.
But us, we are conserving City Park. You see, who should get the park?
The one who's conserving it.
Exactly.
Talking about conservation, I want one last comment from you. Next week on Monday is a holiday, and the government is giving us a chance to plant trees. What do you have to say about this, and how prepared are you for it?
As we are prepared, we'll be having a tree planting at City Park. But I urge people, please plant trees and use the Jazamiti app. There's a Jazamiti app that the government has, ministry. When you plant a tree, you register it with the app.
Okay.
Those people who will have planted many trees will have a reward.
Oh,
so it's a competition.
Okay, plant trees, and as we said last week when we were having a conversation on avocado, sometimes unaweza panda pia avocado. It doesn't have to be eucalyptus. Kila mtu.
It doesn't. For food security, do fruits, fruit trees. For people like us who are in the park, we are going to do beautification trees and shade trees that have a big canopy. So planting of trees depends on where you are planting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quote at the back of the Business Daily. Let's close it up, Deno.
The last word: you must expect great things of yourselves before you can do them. Michael Jordan.
Let's say it again.
You must expect great things of yourself before you can do them. Michael Jordan.
Taking a short break. Oh, it's 9:54 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we have to close it up at this point. I won't be having any time for a break. Thank you for keeping it here on KUTV Rise today. It's been an amazing radio on TV experience, and we bring it to you with the whole team. My producer and director, Ryan Ngure, from the transmission desk is Frank Major Maish, and a whole